Not come running beyond and so meteo, habiting a kishibe meteo, Niba Westmoining Digitagini Meteo Monga. Basically, what I just introduced myself is Francis Kavanagh from Whitefish Bay Reservation, and my clan is Sturgeon. I'm third degree Meteoin. Also belong to the Sundance and the traditional roundhouse. So with this invocation, I'll do it in my Ojibwe. Kukomisnatag Shomsnatag Eggemanito. Some coming in Indigo, where Anish Semang Ishukanamago, where Chibakinaman, when no Mejigan so. Meet the Shege, which Magog, where hot Sokanagan, when the Beat, or thank you it in Kejanum, Ke Nagabianum, Keoegiatinum, Kevi Tokamegani be Kang, Keoegishigong, me the Shejabog Seneminako. We need cheese semogako no baby joko tiango we binashki na moya ango ni shingi mashkimia mina ke jibogo senda mangi we ni gani minangi abe we ne jina no katta mango we no gum kanje ko tiang so mi to minike ge kita ga ginesh no de ga gi kitsia akchimi ga chotigin ko we manitoko scotche ne kanona go gabo senema ni ne janishna we angiti magis ange gonga kenazin o kinda shigo senema no chima min sito no angagi gitoin e jo nishinge to chijina mi sugo miniket ne to na ha mi go. Thank you. I guess I was also asked to first one on the agenda. So I have a statement I prepared, so good morning everyone and welcome to Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to thank Premier Ford for making the time to be here today for this announcement about a project that we all hold dear to our hearts. For many years, our First Nations leadership, technical experts, our government partners have worked towards the realization of the All Nations Hospital project. These partnerships are an important path forward, making sure everyone in the Treaty 3 territory has access to the best quality care available. We all know that the issues that our communities continue to face in our health systems are deep and complex. But I am confident that together we can begin to overcome them and create better health outcomes for all our people. Our continued partnership and collaboration towards the shared goal of healthy communities is something that we can all be proud of. It remains my sincere hope that we will continue this great work together as this project moves forward. It is my honor to be here with you all today, and I hope that today is another step to a brighter future. And in closing, I should have welcomed the Premier, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, and Minister Rickford. I welcome them to our territory, Grand Council Treaty Number 3. And like I said, I'm very honored and grateful that they take the time to be here with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a great day. It's a great day.
Anin, minogi gajeb, watchke making it in the go, can you need in dotam, was just going to go madunji. Kachimi gwet, shugachita, abakna no man nungam. Gino name in him, Jaganashi Mawin, Amchagushi Mawin. Good morning, everybody. My English name is Chris Keed, and I'm the chief of Wajishko Nigam. So this is a major milestone along the journey to build a new hospital and long-term care home. This is a vision of the KCA board for a long time. When the opportunity was presented to Kenora Chiefs Advisory Board of Chiefs to purchase this former mill site property, we took it so that the hospital and the long-term care facility had a place to be built. We took on the risk, which included financial some of our assets, as well as a loan from the RBC Kenora branch. We want to see our entire community benefit, not only equity for our people receiving health care in a new hospital, a long-term care home, but all our families to benefit. So at this time, I want to welcome Chief Waylon Scott of Independent Nations to the podium as well to say a few words. Chimagwes, Michko, ya, Bazindawek, Kintam.
I noticed the shorter, the speakers before me are a little shorter, so I got to raise the mic a little. Good morning, Pitan Kwitndishnikas, Paju, Dotem, Dugumak, Kanyu, Wapsimung, Chief Waylon Scott from Wapsimung. Before I dive into the notes that I was given here, I just want to first off thank the Okichita for being here this morning. Grand Chief, also to our friend here, the Premier, and our other friend, Minister Rickford, and Parliamentary Secretary Jordan for also being here, Ministry of Health. Somebody's doing that on purpose. Might have been Greg. So today's announcement marks a significant milestone that represents two leading projects that will positively impact communities across the Treaty 3 region and possibly even into the Anishinaabe Nation, as well as our visitors that come in from out of province, out of country. We do have, Kenora does have a population of 15,000, but during the summer it jumps up to 35,000 people. So this hospital is going to be a very good complement for the residences that live in Kenora as well as the surrounding area. Guided by elders, the chiefs and senior leadership of KCA in true partnership with Lake of the Woods District Hospital, board of directors, past directors, current directors, we've always fostered a really good working relationship that has brought us to where we are at now. We've worked extremely hard to bring the All Nations Hospital project and the new build of Weegwas Elders and Senior Care Home to this point. That's also another focal point that we would like to work on, as well as the Weegwas Senior Care Home, which is also going to be built on the same site. The board of KCA alongside the hospital look forward to collaborating with Infrastructure Ontario to create an equitable procurement framework for these capital projects that sees economic development opportunities and prosperity for everyone. Premier Ford, I think we're going to need your help to bring the federal government to the table. I know that I've been able to bring the province as well as the federal folks under one roof for my community issues, but I think this one is kind of a little above my pay grade, so we might need help with the Prime Minister on this one as well. I know we've brought the National Chief to our site as well, and she was also going to help us with possibly trying to get Prime Minister Carney in the same room with our provincial friends. So I think we'll need some help with that, because these are two major projects, the hospital as well as the Weegwas care home. I'm going to introduce His Worship, Andrew Poirier, Mayor of Kenora. I've known Andrew for 20 years, more than 20 years actually, 25 plus years. And one story that always stands out, we were at a shore, and there was some puppies out in the middle of the lake, about 15 puppies, and Andrew actually swam out and rescued every single puppy. No, just kidding. So I'll introduce Andrew Poirier.
Good morning, everybody. Bonjour, and sincere welcome to our honored guests and community partners. It's wonderful to have all of us here today to share in this historic moment for our community. This gathering is a grand reflection of what it means to invest in our community, not only today but in the future, investing in people, services, and opportunities to improve health and well-being for our families, friends, and neighbors. Progress is strongest when it is collaborative, inclusive, and focused on long-term well-being for all. The presence of everyone standing here today together as a community means a great deal as we move forward together. A special thanks to the Honourable Premier Doug Ford, Honourable Greg Rickford, who we see all the time, and someone who I've met a couple times in the last few months, the PA John Jordan. So welcome. And thank you for taking the time to travel to our beautiful city. You all continue to demonstrate your commitment to not only Kenora and the surrounding area, but also all of Northwestern Ontario. We are thankful for the relationships we have with your government, and your presence today demonstrates to the growth of our community and region. I also want to express gratitude for our partners that make this projects possible. The province of Ontario, and hopefully the federal government will be slotted in there at some point, Kenora Chiefs Advisory, the Lake of the Woods District Hospital, and of course the City of Kenora, who has a stake in all this. These collaborative relationships have been pivotal in moving forward in a collaborative and trusting new relationship for all. Thank you again to everyone for being here, for your support, and for joining us in celebrating this investment in the community and Kenora's future. Now it is with great pleasure to introduce Cheryl O'Flaherty, President and Chief Executive Officer for the Lake of the Woods District Hospital. And Cheryl, I don't have a puppy story. So.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Poirier. And thank you so much to Grand Chief Kavanagh, Chief Skeed, and Chief Scott for your words today and for your leadership. This journey began in 2017 when Ogi Mawapatang, Kenora Chiefs Advisory, and Lake of the Woods District Hospital committed to working together in partnership to plan for a new hospital for our region to address health inequities and bring care closer to home. Today, our collaborative work has built a comprehensive plan for the future of healthcare in this region that includes a new regional hospital and campus of care offering a blend of both Western and traditional medicines. I'm so incredibly grateful as I look to all of you, our partners, our leaders, our communities. Each of you have been part of this commitment, this partnership, and this plan for transforming care in our region. Premier Ford and Minister Rickford, this investment is a vital step towards modernizing our health infrastructure. More than that, it will help close the gap in health inequities and bring essential care closer to home for the people of Northwestern Ontario. Today is a momentous day in the legacy we are creating together. We are so grateful. I'm now pleased to introduce Jennifer Drever, Executive Director from Kenora Chiefs Advisory, to deliver her comments. Thank you.
Woo-hoo. Kagwanakut Jennifer Drever is my English name. I'm the Executive Director of Ogamawabitang, Kenora Chiefs Advisory. I first and foremost want to thank our board, the Chiefs, and senior leadership team at KCA for their vision and passion to make lasting, positive change, not just for Anishinaabe people, but caring that everyone has an opportunity to live a good life. The good life starts and ends with access to meaningful and quality care, both from a Western and traditional approach and understanding. We could not advance this truly innovative partnership between a First Nation-led organization and a regional hospital without the unwavering support of our local MPP, the Honourable Minister Greg Rickford. The overall development of this site, for which the All Nations Hospital Project and Weeguas Elder and Senior Care Home are significant leading projects, will undoubtedly be an economic driver for the entire region. Relative to us, this is our nation-building project that will bring growth and prosperity for all who work and play here in Treaty 3. Premier Ford, my hope is that we might serve as a model for what working in a successful, true partnership can look like, leaving a positive impact for generations. Thank you. I'd like to welcome John Jordan, Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Health and the Minister of Long-Term Care.
Thanks, Jennifer. And I'm really happy to be here in Kenora. You know, one of the great things about this job is you get to go places that you probably otherwise would not have the opportunity to go and meet the great people that make that community so special. So Greg just said thanks for coming. Well, thanks for helping me. I really appreciate it. The project we are announcing today is just one of the many across our province that will make a real difference for this community, the seniors and elders in this community, and their families as well. And having it close to home is so important. We know that Ontario's population is aging, and we need to make sure communities have the infrastructure so that seniors can access the care they need and deserve, and most importantly, where and when they need it. A few years ago, the Premier made, and he does this, an ambitious and challenging commitment, and that was to build 58,000 new and reconditioned long-term care beds across Ontario. And I'm proud to say, and I'm proud to be part of the government and part of long-term care during this time. As of this month, 148 projects representing a total of 24,101 new and redeveloped long-term care beds. And, you know, we say beds, but these aren't beds. You know, when you go into these homes, and I've been in a lot of them now, they're beautiful homes. There's social areas, there's dining rooms, there's social activities, there's physical activities. These are homes. So 24,101 new homes for people in Ontario. We were faced with challenges that we're all aware of. Higher interest rates, higher building costs, a shortage of skilled trades, and the government met these challenges under the leadership of Premier Ford. A demonstration of this was the government's commitment with the Supplemental Fund. And the Supplemental Fund was a boost in the provincial government's contributions to long-term care to make them, as we call it, pencil out. So we did 2 of those. The problem with them was not the problem, but they had a time limitation. So now I'm proud to say there's a new capital fund, and the new capital fund doesn't have the time limitations, and it's also directs special attention to the north and to the rural areas, which is what makes projects like this able to go through and again to pencil out. And we know that the north faces different challenges. Higher costs particularly is one when it comes to these major projects. So we made changes to allow Northern Indigenous projects to receive more funding and to receive that funding earlier. The new capital program takes into account the challenges of building in the north. Our government understands that Northern Ontario has unique needs, and we are fortunate to have Minister Rickford, who knows the north and is a strong voice at Queen's Park. He also has experience in healthcare, so has that background as well. So we appreciate having that voice at Queen's Park. Our healthcare professionals and staffing are probably the most important. We can build as many beds as we want, but we need the right people. So the government has many initiatives for new careers, new opportunities for healthcare, for people to go into to healthcare, and that's another strategy. We have programs like the community paramedic program. And one, I'll just divest a bit from my notes, because I was talking to Cheryl a minute ago. The priority fund that we have puts services in our long-term care homes that previously haven't been there, but they do two things. They give people within long-term care access to services so that they don't necessarily have to go out to the hospital for those services. And they also allow people that are hospital bound and can't get into long-term care because the services aren't there to get into those long-term care homes. And it'll help address our ALC issues. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here again. And again, I'd like to introduce and welcome that strong voice for the North, Minister Rickford.
I have to open them. I never use them, but Premier, welcome to Northwestern Ontario.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
And how about this, folks? How about this amazing leadership team all around us here for today? I'll tell you what, you know, it's hard for me to find a place to start, and I'm just going to keep looking at my watch to actually finish. As John pointed out, I have a long history of being a healthcare worker here in Northwestern Ontario. I'm joined by some of those folks that reach back decades ago, and of course today sharing this opportunity with First Nations leadership, City Council, the Mayor, Council, and so many community builders, people who work throughout this community on so many different ways, have contributed to why we're here today. And it's an important day. You've heard it so far. But I'd like to shed a little perspective on it that I hope folks can appreciate it. It's really just a list. It's about primary care here in Northwestern Ontario, the All Nations Partners Ontario Health Team, a landmark physician services agreement called the Rural Generalist Model, the WinHack facility being built downtown, the long-term care license, which would find its place here amongst what we hope will become a healthcare campus, a resource for the hospital to begin, for Lake of the Woods District Hospital and the Kenora Chiefs Advisory to begin the technical elements of what we're going to build here. And of course, the MRI, our community-based paramedic program, are all fixtures that serve a couple of important pieces. First of all, to bring diagnostic capacity here to Kenora in the interim as things get built, to consolidate as bricks and mortar places where people go, otherwise all over the city of Kenora and other parts, to one place in the case of WinHack. And then to celebrate, of course, why we would be here today. Purposefully, this is a historic partnership, as has been alluded to, one in which the municipal government, the provincial government, Kenora Chiefs Advisory, and an amazing First Nations political leadership drive, donors through the Lake of the Woods Hospital Foundation, I think goes without comparison in terms of the resources that are raised for not just the hospital but other services and programming. This is, in effect, one of the most amazing modernizations of healthcare in the province, but here in Kenora. We serve a big area. And as we look out over this peak, we can get a sense of the vastness of the Kenora district and these beautiful Treaty 3 lands. but this will give it. This is actually where the helicopter is going to land, Premier, as I understand it. But in expanding our capacity for care, providing additional mental health supports, diagnostic capacity, bringing it home here, and we still have work to do. We find out on an almost daily basis. Building a campus here today is a transformational project, not just for the city of Kenora and Keewatin and Norman. Oh boy, I've started something now, haven't I? But is a testament to the leadership of my colleagues, my cabinet colleagues, our parliamentary assistants, but really this comes down to the Premier of Ontario, who understood very quickly not just how vast our region was, but the opportunity that we have here outside of Thunder Bay to serve this vast and beautiful district. And so we're here today, folks, for that purpose, to celebrate the hard work of our community builders, our political leaders, and the folks who serve on the front lines, not just here, but out on the Trans-Canada Hospital, to redefine what healthcare means here in Kenora. Unusually scripted, I did it on purpose because I wanted to stay within a time frame and not go on and on and on. Not that I ever do, but simply to, with some humility, to just say thank you to all of you folks for the work that you have put into this. My name is Greg Rickford. I'm the Member of Provincial Parliament for the Great Kenora Rainy River Riding, and it's a privilege and an honor to serve you as my constituents. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a warm welcome for the Premier of Ontario?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the warm welcome. And Greg, thank you for what you do every single day. Folks, you have to see Greg in action at the cabinet table. It's all about Kenora, Rainy River, Lake of the Woods, and he pushes it. But he can't push it without having the support of the entire community. And I see it, no matter if it's the transportation that we're doing or building the hospitals or long-term care. He's the voice down at Queen's Park, but you're the voice here in the community, and I just want to thank you for everything you do. And believe me, he has a strong voice when he gets up there. Everyone listens when Greg speaks. It's great to be here in Ontario's beautiful north, alongside PA. Jordan, you just heard from him. I have to tell you something about John. I call him the lowest maintenance person in all of caucus. We have over 80. He works his back off, represents his community like no other. And he travels all around. I'll tell you, smart as a crackerjack you are. And I just appreciate everything that you do. Mayor, thank you for your words as well and hosting us today. I want to thank Grand Chief Kavanaugh and Chief Skeed and my good pal, Chief Scott. Full disclosure, he's my pal. I love the guy. You still haven't taken me out fishing. You keep saying you're going to take. No, he's a great guy. And as well as Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you for all the work that you've done for the Kenora Chiefs Advisory, for hosting us today and being such a great partner. And of course, Cheryl, boy, you have a lot on your shoulders as well. These things just wouldn't happen without folks like yourself, as I said, and the entire Lake of the Woods District Hospital team. I just want to thank our frontline healthcare workers. I think the absolute world of you. And we're doing everything we can to get more people up here to serve the people of this great region, no matter if we're paying for all the nurses' educations or paying for the docs' education, as long as they're working into rural areas. I feel so bad. I see you shaking over there. Like, I'll give you my jacket if you, honestly. I feel bad. Because I got about, 60 pounds of extra. It's like a polar bear here. It doesn't get cold. And as well as those from Wigwa's elder and senior care. This is groundbreaking. As I always say, folks, I'll go down City of Toronto, you cut this ribbon, 60-story tower, and everyone rah, and they move on. This changes the community. This is historic. all because of the community and the leadership down at Queen's Park. This is going to last for decades to come and serve the community. Friends, our government has a plan. Our number one job as a government, my number one job is make sure we protect the people of Ontario. I need to protect the communities against that tyrant south of the border, which drives me absolutely nuts. And we'll always be there to protect the families and businesses who call our province home. To build an Ontario that is more competitive, we have to be more resilient and more self-reliant and not just rely on the U.S. And by the way, I love the people of the U.S. I just don't like one guy down there. We're cutting the red tape, keeping taxes and fees low, and investing in our workers. Our government is also building the infrastructure that we need to drive Ontario's growth with the largest plan to build in Canadian history. Now, Greg, you've been pushing Highway 17. We're finally getting it done. That connection between Kenora up to Manitoba, but Highway 11, and we need that. When you drive down those roads in the winter, even in the summer, it can be treacherous. In the north, we're making road investments in roads and highways and transit, hospitals, and long-term care homes through our 200, I'm going to change that because it says 200 billion, it's actually $220 billion to plan to continue to build, which again is the largest in Canadian history. So we can connect communities, create opportunities, and protect northern families and businesses by investing in infrastructure we need. And what the infrastructure doesn't just build strong, resilient communities, it creates jobs, good paying jobs. And this includes widening Highway 17, as I just mentioned, from Manitoba border to Kenora. And we have a good relationship with a premier over there, Wab Canoe. He's a great guy. With 6 kilometers finished already, so we're moving along fairly quickly with the support of our. Across the district, we're investing in workers through our Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation. Since 2018, NOHFC has approved more than $87 million. That's a big number. $87 million supporting 779 projects in the area and creating hundreds of good-paying local jobs. Across the province, we're investing $2.5 billion through our Skills Development Fund to help workers land good-paying jobs in in-demand industries. I think that's one of the best programs. We've trained over 700,000 people, not just in skilled trades, but in healthcare as well, in manufacturing and everything. And our goal is going to be 1 million people. We're at about over 700 now, 700,000 I should say, including over $8 million recently right here in Kenora to help 210 people find work in IT, carpentry, and construction. We're supporting small, northern, and rural municipalities through the Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund, which includes more than $11 million for communities in Kenora District here. And again, do you know how it works, folks? I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if you're part of the Orange Party, Green Party, Red Party, Blue Party. They sit around caucus, and their single job is to fight for their community. That's their job, to fight for the community and bring as much as they can within the community. And again, I got to keep pumping your tires because I've seen you in action over 7 years. And there's no one that fights for his community more than Greg does. And we're providing more than $11 million through our municipal housing infrastructure program to enable 1,400 homes in the community. Across Ontario, we're investing nearly $60 billion to build and upgrade more than 50 hospitals across the province. I always say, no matter where you live in the province, you're either getting an addition or you're getting a new hospital. And thank God we're here and we're going to get a new hospital. Earlier this year, we announced an investment of $28 million to build a new Aboriginal Health Access Center in downtown Kenora to connect people with Indigenous design and delivered programs. And we're connecting hundreds of thousands of people to a family doctor or primary care team, bringing us one stop closer to connecting every single person in Ontario to convenient primary care by 2029. We're putting a few $1 billion in to make sure every single person is connected to a primary care doc. And I'm thrilled to announce today, this is beautiful, our government's $50 million investment to advance planning for a new Lake of the Woods District Hospital right here in Kenora. And I can't wait to come back. It's going to be absolutely stunning, just first class. It's replacing the current facility. This new hospital will connect patients and families across northwestern Ontario to more convenient, high-quality care close to home. Once complete, it will offer expanded access to core programs and services with 3 operating rooms and procedure room and a pre-admission clinic. The new hospital will also have expanded diagnostics imaging services, including space for Lake of the Woods District Hospitals. This is massive. Like, it seems small, but it's massive. A new MRI machine. You know, MRIs are so important. You can actually get the first ever MRI suite right here in Kenora, which I'm just so pleased, because if not, people are traveling hours away to get an MRI. And this will also support the whole area and the whole district. This state-of-the-art suite, supported by a $7.6 million investment from our government, is currently serving patients from across northwestern Ontario. So it's already up and going, which is great. And this isn't all we're doing for Kenora. We're also protecting Ontario's long-term care system, ensuring residents get the quality care they need and they deserve. I always say, you know, the seniors took care of us. Now it's time to take care of them and always protect them no matter what we do. We're redeveloping and expanding Wigwa's Elder and Senior Care Home in Kenora, which is great news, which will be located in the campus of care at Lake of the Woods District Hospital. We're providing a one-time planning grant of $1.9 million to advance the project towards construction, which is expected to begin next year. And once complete, the home will offer 160 safe and modern, I never use beds. I say the same as what John says. And I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I went into long-term care a few years back, and I said to an elderly lady, I said, well, this is great. We're adding more beds. And she looked at me. She said, you know, son, this is not a bed. This is my home. This is where my friends are. So I'll never call beds. They are homes to these people. And we're going to create 160 safe and modern homes, reflecting the culture and traditions of the First Nations communities who make up the Kenora Chiefs Advisory. Once again, I just want to thank Minister Rickford. I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank the whole community, the chiefs, and the advocacy that we've seen here in Kenora. And our government will always protect the people here, our workers, our businesses, by making historic investments in infrastructure, increasing access to world-class care, cutting red tape, and lowering taxes. And I want to thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much, everyone.
We will now take questions from the media. Media can come to the microphone and state their name and outlet. Just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Tim Davidson from CJRL.
Hi, Tim.
This is kind of piggybacking on Chief Scott's question. I know the province has been very supportive of the hospital. Have you heard anything from the federal government?
Well, I'm going to hear from the Prime Minister on Thursday. He's going to come over, and we're going to have a good long chat about quite a few different things, and I'll mention this. I'll mention the request. I'll mention if he has an opportunity, because he really looks forward to meeting the Indigenous communities, First Nations communities, and I'll make sure Chief Scott has a word next time they get together with the First Nations communities.
And the tariffs for lumber went up yesterday or today. I'm not sure, but have you got any?
I'll talk to him on Thursday. But that guy, President Trump, he's a real piece of work. You know something? What my message to the Prime Minister when I meet him on Thursday is, if you can't get a deal, let's start hitting him back. Let's start hitting the U.S. back hard. Because all Trump does is continue. We're nice, play nice in the sandbox, and today's another, or yesterday's 10% on softwood lumber. After it was 35%, he increased it 10%. And then he all of a sudden, one day out of the blue, someone must have told him cabinet makers. And we should ship a lot of cabinets down there. And all of a sudden now there's a tariff there. I am sick and tired of sitting and rolling over. We need to fight back. Folks, we are an economic powerhouse. We buy $356 billion of goods, Canada does, off the U.S. We're the number one customer to the U.S. No one in the world buys more goods than what we do. We need to start hitting back and hitting back hard. That's the only thing this person understands. Sorry, I just get pumped up talking about this guy. He drives me absolutely crazy. He does. And we aren't going to roll over. I'm not going to let him roll over Ontario, I'll tell you that.
This will be the last reporter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Matt Kennedy here for CTV News.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Premier. I'm wondering, are you still committed to the billions, committed to the Stellantis EV deal in Windsor, given what the company has done in Brampton?
I'm not going to give him a penny because it was tied in to making sure Windsor and keep Brampton going. And we haven't given him a penny for Brampton yet. We gave him about $55 million out of the couple billion that the feds and I and the companies agreed. You know, it's disappointing. They said they're going to keep Brampton open. I had a conversation with the president of Stellantis yesterday. He said, well, we're going to postpone it for a year. We're going to find a new model. You know, I don't understand. They're investing $13 billion in the U.S. We're, you know, an auto manufacturing powerhouse here. They're going to transfer 1,500. The only good news, there's no good news, but the only good news is they're adding a third shift in Windsor, and they're going to try to transfer 1,500 people from Brampton down to Windsor. But we're competitive. We can produce the best vehicles anywhere in the entire world, right here in Ontario. So I'm going to keep pushing like they've never seen before.
And just to follow up, you were prepared to pull Diageo products off the shelves of LCBO for the closure of that plant employing 200 people. What kind of retaliation would you contemplate in response to the potential loss of those 3,000 jobs, and what do you think the federal government's response should be?
Well, I have to protect the Brampton jobs. When they're saying they're going to add 1,500 more jobs in Windsor, that allows people to have an opportunity to move down there. I want to keep the Brampton plant open no matter what. He's given me his word. They're going to keep it open. They're going to see what products they're going to put in there. But again, his words, not mine, but it's everyone in the world. He goes, there's uncertainty. Until we see a deal made between Canada and the U.S., the Kuzma deal, how do you figure any company can figure it out? It's the uncertainty that President Trump has not just brought to Canada, he's brought it to the entire world. And protectionism does not work. You see job losses in the U.S. the last 5 months, every single month, there's job losses. And it's going to continue. Protectionism, all it does is a tax on Canadians. A tariff on Canadians is a tax on Americans. And we're seeing it now. Their economy is slowing. And there's more unemployment. So, do you know how you fix that? Make a deal with Canada. Make a deal with your largest customer, and things get things back to normal. And what we're going to do, and this is really important, when I sit down with the Prime Minister, these are the reasons we need to start focusing and pouring money into infrastructure, pouring money into the critical mineral sector that will create thousands of jobs, $22 billion, 75,000 jobs, making sure we work with the First Nations community to support them until they get part of any investments that they invest in. And we have $3 billion for investments in the window, $70 million of training, $10 million of scholarships. But it's Team Ontario, Team Canada. We have to make sure we start building the pipelines. We have to start making sure we build the railroad. And we have to make sure that we continue to pour money into energy. The Americans want our energy. We need to continue building out our nuclear large scale, but also our small modular reactors that we're leading the entire world in. And, you know, a lot of governors have called me and said, we want your energy. Well, that's fine. You can have our energy, but not if President Trump just totally throws us underneath the bus on this fair trade deal. We will get our products out around the world. Folks, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so bad for you. This beautiful healthcare worker sitting there shaking in the corner. But anyways, thank you, folks. God bless you. And I appreciate the community. Thank you.